I suffered a breakdown and I also had depression. I kind of lost my way in my life, and I didn't really have very much confidence in myself. I started to get panic attacks, and I think that's what led to the breakdown. But I was also dissatisfied with my life and I felt in a rut. I knew that I had to change myself, but I didn't feel that I had the strength to do it. There was a gap of a year and I was building myself up, and then I started to come to the church. From when I started coming to the very first meeting, I just felt inspired and empowered. From then on, I started going 3 times a week. I was gaining all this knowledge in practical ways, how to use things to develop a confidence in myself and a faith in myself that I could do things. Now I have dreams for my life, and I'm going to become a potter. I'm going to buy a bit of land. I'm going to build an eco house on it. I'm just stronger now, and I'm much more joyful in my life and more excited about my life.
Good evening and welcome to tonight's Finding Answers. Now, we have 1 more hour until the day ends. But do you know the significance of this day? Good Friday. Good Friday, it's called Good Friday because it marks history, what happened in the world on that day. As most of you, I'm sure, would know, Good Friday was the day that Jesus Christ died on the cross. No matter what religion you are from, no matter what you believe in, everyone knows that there was a man that once existed whose name was Jesus. Some look at him as a religious figure, a very important man. Others see him as, just one more important person in this world who existed one day. Others see him as God himself, right? In the form of man, flesh. No matter how you view him, no one can deny that he made a significant difference in the world, and he has a large following today. But what exactly does Good Friday actually mean? Good Friday, what he did on the cross, he took upon himself our sins, our sufferings, so that whoever believes in him from that moment onwards will not need to suffer anymore. So no matter your problems, no matter what's going on in life, you may be suffering in life right now. You may be going through a hard, desperate moment now, but you don't need to suffer anymore. You don't need to go through that struggle, that pain, that health issue that maybe no one else can help you with. What Jesus did on the cross thousands of years ago, he did it so that you can be free from that problem. And tonight's guest is no exception. You're going to hear from this young woman how her life was and how it is today. And what made the difference was the fact that she prayed, she followed the advice, and her life has changed. All right? And actually today's topic is about time management. Michael, what has time management got to do with God? Well, as I said, you're going to see how her life changed through what she learned. And what she learned, what she followed, were the biblical teachings. All right? Practical advice that she followed, and she was able to move on in her life. If you want to know more, stay tuned. But before we move on any further, have a look at the video for tonight's program.
Time management is the ability to plan and control how you spend the hours in your day to effectively accomplish your goals. Poor time management can be related to procrastination, as well as problems with self-control. People with poor time management skills may find it difficult or upsetting to think about their future, prioritize tasks, and monitor where their time actually goes. It often feels like there just aren't enough hours in the day to accomplish all the things that we want to accomplish, let alone find a moment to relax. The demands of our work and social life, combined with our basic need for sleep, food and exercise, can quickly add up and overflow, producing the sense that time is constantly slipping away and we're constantly running to catch up. Time is limited, but it doesn't have to always feel this way. New research suggests that our state of mind can change the way we perceive and experience time, and in turn makes us happier and more giving. But why do some people have problems with time management? Some people find it difficult, if not impossible, to set personal goals. They know they have many things to do. They just fail to prioritize tasks and set all important goals. Some people cannot ignore distractions, multitask, or avoid procrastination. So, do you need to start thinking about time management?
So there you have it. Tonight's topic is time management. And if you feel as though time is slipping away from you, maybe you're that person that likes to say yes to everything and everyone, and you find you're doing lots of things, many things, and maybe the most important things that you need to take care of, you are not doing those things. Actually, maybe you're getting in trouble with your superiors at work. Maybe you're getting in trouble with your family, right? Your parents, who say to you, do this or do that, and then you do other things. So your time management is not organized enough. And maybe you feel as though I want to help everyone, but in actual fact, you're not helping yourself. And that's what we want to address tonight. The fact that you can have a better quality of life if you are able to manage your time properly. With me tonight is Pastor Edward. Hi, Pastor.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Doing good, thanks.
You know, time management is something that affects all of us at some point. Others can control it, and yet others don't know how to control it.
And nowadays, I believe more difficult than ever, because so many things are competing for a second of our time, right?
Yeah.
The revolution in telecommunications. It's every time you have to respond to emails, you have to respond to the chat, you have to see who's trying to talk to you, calling on your cell phone while you're driving, all these things. So for those people that really struggle with this, now it has become more difficult, but it is possible to manage it well, to learn how to do it.
Yeah, and our aim here is to help you to manage your time, okay? If you'd like to email us at any time, you can do so. The email address is help@findinganswers.tv, and if you want to call, you can do so, and there'll be someone there to maybe give you some advice. And if you believe in prayer and you like prayer for God to help you, not do it for you, but to assist you in managing your time, then that number is on the screen now. It's 0207 686 6300. We're going to go for a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to meet our guest for this evening. See you after this.
Introducing the Love Therapy website. Love Therapy can help you find true love and show couples how to enjoy happiness through a successful relationship. So why not click on the Love Therapy website for dynamic, interesting and useful tips on love. You can watch inspirational videos from happy couples sharing their experiences of maintaining relationship strength, and find out when the Love Therapy meetings are. If you're looking forward to a first date, then the Love Therapy website has 5 tips for that all-important first date. And why not sign up for the Love Therapy newsletter to receive the latest news and events postings? All you need at your fingertips. The Love Therapy website.
In life, there are problems that just hit you with a blow. Everything crumbles away and the heartache never seems to disappear. Everything keeps going wrong. You are in despair. What do you do when your hope isn't enough? When your single prayer seems to return unanswered and the persistent problem is still there? Make the chain of prayer and turn things around once and for all. Don't give up. Make a chain of prayer. It works.
Good evening and welcome back to Finding Answers. Now, if you just joined us, today's topic is time management. Let's meet our guest for tonight, Jessica Fernandes.
Pushing me for the rest of the week, so it's like a boost.
Things were really tight.
Today, the way I see myself is completely different.
Hi, Jessica. Welcome to the program.
Hiya.
Now, you had a problem with managing your time,
Yes,
right? To the point where it got you into trouble. And you're going to hear at home, you know, it wasn't just organizing things. You're going to see how it affected other areas of her life. So when did this problem start, Jessica?
It started in secondary school.
Right.
It had to do more with like my mathematics, because I was more used to studying at home with my father. When my father left to go work outside of this country, I started getting lazy because I didn't have that
push.
that push, because I was on my own. So then I started getting lazy, and then I would start get distracted in school. And then I would allow myself to get distracted, so I wouldn't do my work in class. So it started from there.
Right. So why was that? I mean, it was your dad at home pushing you, encouraging you.
Yeah.
But then there were teachers, right, in class, and there'll be students that will be doing their work. So what do you think the problem was? Why? Were you easily distracted by your friends? What was it?
I guess there was more students not doing the work than those who were doing the work. And I was one of those who were loud,
right?
Because I wanted to get myself out there, because I was a shy person, but I wanted to seem like I was out there type of thing. So then I would get myself with the loud crowd, so then I wouldn't do my work, I'll rebel against the teachers.
Okay. So where did this topic coming tonight of managing your time, what started to happen then?
So whenever I would get work to do, I would, instead of doing it, I would hold back, and then I'll end up doing it in the deadline time. So I would be procrastinating, and instead of doing my work, I'll end up failing. But I was once known as one of like the highest student, because I was getting good grades at first, but then I ended up not getting good grades, and then I ended up not caring, and I would blame it on my father.
Your father?
Yeah, for not being there.
Can you kind of explain how you blamed it on your dad?
Because he wasn't there.
Right.
Yeah.
So not only were you procrastinating,
yeah,
you were shifting the blame onto your dad.
Yeah.
Right? He's the one that's supposed to push you.
Yeah.
Right? In order to do stuff.
That was my mentality.
Where did this mentality come from? Where did this idea come from?
I don't know.
Huh?
I actually don't know.
So in actual fact, I won't say a typical student, but there are people or students who do that. Some leave work till the last minute, right? The deadline to hand in their essay or assignment. Was that you?
Yeah, definitely.
So tell us how it would work out. And I'm sure there'll be people, not just students, but actually adults who leave things to the last minute.
So you'll get an assignment and you'll tell yourself, yes, I'm going to do it today. And then you'll get distracted. So whether it's your phone, computer, whatever it is, you'll get distracted, and then so you'll say you'll do it the next day, and the same thing will happen, and then it keeps going until the deadline comes, and then you're like, oh no, I haven't done my work yet. So then you do it on that same night, and obviously it's not going to come out the same way.
Right. So that was that a pattern all the time?
Yes, it was.
With you? You know, you mentioned about the phone. Pastor Edward mentioned about the phone being a distraction, text messages, chats and things like that. WhatsApp. But, you know, if we go back 20 years or so when we didn't have phones, you know, students didn't have phones at school, then it was the friend, right? The distraction was the friend. Let's go here, let's go there. It was someone knocking on your door. It was maybe, I don't know, you had your camera or your stereo and you would play music and invite friends round, or your friends would give you a call on the home phone. Because at the time there was no mobile phone, maybe. And so, you know, distractions were those kind of things at that time. Now, the distractions are a lot easier because we carry this thing everywhere we go with us. So if it's not text, it's a Skype, it's the WhatsApp, it's something. And there's always a message there. If you put it on silent, it's like when you see that little red thing on the corner, it's like, what is it? And you're checking it every so often. There are people who are addicted to checking their Facebook and things like that. So was that you? Were there distractions in that sense?
And even in lessons, you'll have your phone on, and whenever you see the message, you have to check it. So you wouldn't be concentrating on the teacher, you wouldn't be listening to the teacher, you'll be busy on your phone.
Now, the thing is, we all can understand how you can put things off till the next day.
Yeah.
And then the next day and the next day. Okay. But then things got worse for you, didn't it? Where did this procrastination, putting things off, not managing your time, where did it lead to?
It led me to depression because I ended up having more than just one assignment that I had to do on the deadline. So it all clogged up. I had too much to do. And then obviously I couldn't balance all of them at once. So then I ended up failing in like all of my subjects.
Every single one of them?
Every single one of them.
Did you kind of, obviously wanted to do well, but did you look for any help? Did the teachers offer any help? Did they see the potential in you?
They saw the potential in me and they would tell me all the time. But I was the type of person that I didn't like speaking to people. Like I wouldn't open up to anyone. I would keep everything to myself. because I felt like I was alone. It was just me in myself, and no one else can help me.
So even though the friends you wanted to impress, you wanted to be as loud as them,
Yeah.
you couldn't even turn to them for help.
No, because I didn't trust them.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't trust anyone. It was me, myself, and I.
So what level of depression did it get to? Because of course there's feeling low, feeling down about yourself, and there's, you know, clinical depression where you have to take medication, right? So what kind of level of depression did you go through?
I felt down and I used to cry myself to sleep. Yeah, and I would literally just feel depressed. I would feel like every morning that I woke up, there was no life. Like, I wouldn't have a purpose for that day. I would just be waking up for no reason. Sometimes I would just stay in bed because...
You wouldn't go to school?
No, because I didn't want to. I would if my mum was like around, and then I would just have to. But then I'll go there and I won't concentrate. It'll be like I'm not there anyways. So I'll just be there, blank-faced.
Not only were you low, were you feeling down, but your behaviour started changing as well.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
Okay. I started wearing black every day because I felt as if I was literally the living dead. I became a goth.
A goth?
Yes, a goth.
You?
Yes, a goth.
So what's a goth for those who don't know?
A goth is someone whom they're living, but they don't feel like they're living. So it's as in they're alive, but they're dead. They're literally dead, and they feel like they're a part of the dead.
A part of the dead?
They're a part of the dead. I think that's why the majority of them go to not funerals, what's that place?
Cemeteries.
Cemeteries, because they feel like they can, what's the word?
Connect or something.
They can connect to the dead because they feel dead also.
Did you ever go to cemeteries?
No.
So how were you a
goth?
goth?
That deep.
But you used to dress in what, black?
I used to dress in black. I loved piercings. I hanged around with those who used to go to places like that. So I got connected to those who were goths as well.
Okay. I think we have a picture of you now in that time when you were depressed, right?
Yeah.
And you can see here that you are not happy with yourself, right?
No, I wasn't.
Describe that picture. What was going on at that time?
I felt like I put this persona as if I was happy, but inside I was absolutely empty. And then when I put it on Instagram, I got so many likes, and then I was like,
really?
Yeah.
Was that from your friends or was that from other people?
Everyone. I got so many likes on Instagram, and I was like, okay, this is how people accept me. This is how
I'm gonna be.
This is how I'm gonna be.
So you said you had piercing. We can see that the piercing in your nose. Did you have piercings anywhere else?
No, I didn't actually pierce my nose because I had, because of my mother, yeah.
It was something put on, put off.
Yeah, it was them ones there.
Right. So you just wanted to be different, right? So you're really down.
Yes.
Did you try to do anything to change in terms of organising yourself? Or had it gotten too far now? It's like, you know what, I can't achieve anything.
I would try, but then it wouldn't work. And I would try and it wouldn't work. So then I just gave up. I gave up. I just thought, there's no point.
So what did you start doing then?
What, after trying?
Yeah, I mean, if you gave up, were you still going to school or were you like on the streets? What were you doing?
I was on the street. No, I wasn't. I was on the streets with a bunch of friends, but then I was going to college. Sometimes I would actually miss college, but my parents never knew that.
So you failed in your GCSEs?
Yes.
You went to college, what, to do retakes?
I went to college. Now I had to do an extra year.
Okay.
So instead of 2 years, I would have to do 3.
But even then, you were failing there.
Yeah.
As well. And you were still depressed, you're still down like this.
And it got worse because I met worse people within college.
Really?
Yeah.
What types of people did you meet?
Hipsters.
Hipsters?
Yeah.
Can you explain, who are hipsters?
Hipsters are the type of people that just stay out. They they live on the road. They don't go home.
Right.
They just sit. And this period of time, it got me more in trouble with my stepmother because I would be out till late times.
Now, instead of trying to focus on, you know what, I'm in college now, I can start again, I can aim, you know, it's like school's done, GCSEs, all right, let me focus now and organise my time and try and, you know, gain back what I lost. You weren't doing that.
No.
You were a hipster. Were you a hipster goth still, or just a hipster?
I was both. I was both.
So you're still dark and,
I was still
depressed
dark,
inside?
but I was the darkest out of the rest because they were just hipsters.
Right.
But
they accepted you?
Yeah, they accepted me.
Okay. All right. After the break, you're going to hear how Jessica changed her life around. And if you feel like this, if you feel as though you can't manage your time, you are failing, that may not just be studies, but at work or anything else that you do, you can't manage your time, or maybe you are depressed because of something else. And that's where her depression, how she ended up depressed because she wasn't able to achieve things that she wanted in life. Then feel free to give us a call, even during the break. The number's on the screen now. It's 0207 686 6300. When we come back, we're going to hear the rest of her story. We'll see you after this.
I get motivated to kickstart life again. That motivation that just pushed me for the rest of the week. So it's like a boost.
It gave me that hope. You know, it gave me something to look forward to.
I felt welcomed. The environment it's hard to explain, but I felt at peace. It's home.
Sometimes, in order for you to get to the place that you want to be, it's important just to take that little step.
They didn't judge me from what background I came from. I felt like I belonged.
One of the greatest things is, you know, you get to meet new people. Maybe, hopefully, I might get to see you there.
Do the maths. Changing your life is not as simple as changing your hairstyle, your shirt, or rearranging the furniture in your living room. You're talking about years of deep-rooted habits, behaviours and problems that are not going to change overnight. Many may say, think positively, but the trouble with that is that you can't do or change anything with just thoughts. But add action into the equation and the outcome can be different. Let's do the maths. Positive thinking plus action equals a change. Whatever it is, if the change is significant, if it's worthwhile, then it will have to take time, effort, and homework from you.
Come on, spin me around now, I don't wanna go home. 'Cause when you hold me like this, you know my heart skips a beat. I know I should, but I can't leave it alone. And when you hold me like this, that's when my heart skips a beat. You gotta love this, man.
Welcome back to tonight's program, and the topic for this evening is time management. We went out on the streets of London to ask people about this topic. Let's see what they had to say.
definitely depression is probably number one.
They're arguing and they're talking negatively about each other.
What is more valuable than another? And
I think you can have as many friends and families as you want. It just depends.
Is a common regret, like, oh, like I should have like asked that person out, or like.
Hi, I'm Chika here for Finding Answers. It's said that the average person uses 13 different methods to try to control and manage their time. But are these really effective? I'm going to find out from the general public. Let's see what they say. What is your best time management tip?
Get up earlier and set alarms for everything. Absolutely everything.
Okay, I'm really bad at managing time. I'm always late, or if I'm not late, I'm really early, or I'm not very good at that. But I guess alarms, reminders, that kind of stuff. Yeah, that's the best info I can give on the subject.
Let's say like you have to write a plan out and stick to it and do something consistently for like a month, and then it'll become part of like nature.
You learn how to prioritize, to be honest. Like once you actually learn your priorities, you tend to value time a lot more. And you actually, start to plan according to that. So yeah.
When Netflix says, "Are you still watching this, or can I just play the next episode?" Just stop. Don't just let it roll on. That's my tip.
Best time management tip would be to have a plan. Have a plan as much as you can. You won't always necessarily follow that plan, but have a plan. So even if something goes wrong, you have something to refer back to. It's better to have something rather than nothing.
There you have it. Some tips on what some people do to manage their time. And it's easier said than done, right? So we're going to find out from Jessica how she changed her life around. So Jessica, just before the break, you were talking about you hanging about with hipsters.
Yeah.
People that, guys, girls that are on the street, just hanging out.
Yeah, skateboarding, smoking, things like that.
So that's what you're involved in?
I never smoked because I don't like the smell.
But just hanging around, right? Wasting time.
Yeah, just wasting time, literally.
When you got home, how did you used to feel? You're there on your own in your room. How did you feel inside you?
I felt empty. I preferred being out than coming home. I didn't feel right whenever I was at home.
Was that because it brought back reality?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Because it would just be me, myself, and I again.
Yeah.
And then I would just be like, okay, that's me.
But things changed, right?
Yes.
Today, you're not a hipster?
No.
You're not a goth?
No.
No longer depressed?
No.
So tell us, how did the change take place?
I spoke to someone at the church, and then she told me that I should do plans. Okay, so
So you invited to a church?
Yes.
Who invited you?
I came with my nan.
Your nan invited you?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was like a long time ago. But then when I came back by myself because I remembered about the church.
Right.
Yes.
So what did you hear there that when you decided to come back, it was like, it's that place. So what was it you heard the first time?
I can't remember. Do you know what it is? It's the testimonies.
Right.
That other people have said. So I've always known that this place changes lives.
Right.
So
that was the first place you went to?
Yeah, I had to come back to this place.
So when you went to your grand's church?
Yeah.
Yeah? So what was different there? What did you hear there that, led you to where you are today?
When I came back, I would just come and then just sit down but not listen to the word. But there was one time where one of the ladies at the church stopped me when I was on my way home, and then she spoke to me, and then she asked me how I was. And I wasn't the type of person who opened up to anyone. But then I don't know why, but I wanted to open up to her. And then I opened up to her, and then she gave me tips on what I should do to help myself.
Was that tips on time management, or was it on, the spiritual side of things? What was it?
It was on everything as one.
Right.
Really.
So give me some tips that she told you to do?
Okay, one, she told me to read the Bible. She told me to read, what was it?
I mean, you don't have to remember, but in other words, read the Bible.
To read the Bible.
Okay.
And then she was telling me how God loves me and how I'm not alone. And then I was like, okay, why is she telling me this?
Mhm.
But yeah, and then I took that in. And then it was another day where this time it was about the time management. This was another woman. And then she told me that I should start writing up plans for each day and whatever I've got to do to make sure I do it.
Right.
So even if I'm getting distracted, because the majority of the times I would have something to do, but I wouldn't do it.
You were distracted?
I was distracted, but by nothing.
Mm.
I would just be there, sat down, watching TV or something,
Right.
although I knew I had to do.
Were you lazy? Would you say you were lazy?
Yes,
in a
I
sense?
was.
Okay.
I was lazy. And I also had, I was lacking iron, so I would fall sleepy all the time, feel sleepy all the time.
So that didn't help?
That didn't help at
Okay.
all. And then she gave me guidelines how I should start eating more, and that gave me more iron, obviously.
So there was a health issue there, but in terms of the planning side of things, write down what you want to do for the day, like a plan.
Yes.
Now, what was the difference now? How come you stuck to that plan rather than before, when I'm sure you heard that from your teachers?
Yes.
So what was different this time?
She told me, before I start doing whatever I'm doing, pray.
Mm.
Pray about it, and then put your head down and do it.
Right.
So I would pray about it, and then I would do it.
Mm-hmm.
And that...
Did you notice a difference?
Yes, I did.
Tell us about that, because some people watching will say, well, I don't need to pray. I just need to do it, but maybe they're not doing it. So what was the difference that you saw with the prayer in the beginning?
Because, I don't know, it's like the prayer motivates you to go ahead and do it.
Mm.
Because the majority of times when I wanted to put my head down and do it, I wouldn't. So yeah, that actually really helped.
Mm-hmm.
And I think everyone should do that.
Yeah.
Because it did help. It really
So
did.
I just want to say that, God doesn't do anything for us. First, we must recognize, there's a problem that I have here. And if you can't solve it on your own, then you will pray about it. But then afterwards, God is expecting you to take steps, to act, to do something. And what you found difficult to do, maybe you don't even want to do it. But as you start doing it, then that's when the answer to the prayer comes in. That's when God will see, you know what? He's serious, or she's serious about, changing. So then he will start to do things for you, help you out in certain areas of your life. Help you out, not do it for you. And Jessica, can you say that's what happened? As you started doing things that you didn't do before, but when you did, it got easier. Maybe a distraction came, but you had that kind of strength to resist it.
That was actually one of my tasks. I had a task to search what distracts me the most, and it happened to be my phone. So I decided to switch off my phone whenever I was in class to make sure my phone is off. And whenever I'm doing any work, my phone is off.
Right.
So I had to be decisive in what I wanted to do.
You have to be disciplined.
Yeah,
right?
disciplined, yes.
And as well, right? Decisive but disciplined as well.
Yes, and that was actually one of my problems, the prayer thing, where I would pray and I would think, yes, God's going to do it for me.
Mm-hmm.
So that was one of the pasts anyways. I would think God's going to do it for me. So like, if I had an exam, I would pray about it, but
and
I wouldn't
you're gonna
revise.
get the best. Right.
Yeah. So I thought, yeah, God's going to do that miracle, but no, we have to.
Of course, you've got to study as well.
Mm-hmm.
And have you seen success since coming to the church, praying, putting into practice what you learned? What have you seen today? How is your time management skills today?
My time management is great now. It's like whenever I've got work to do, I make sure I start on that day. And whenever I'm in class, I actually do work. Because the majority of the times in the past, whenever I got work in class, I'll be like, no, I'll do it at home because I got more time at home.
Yeah.
But then I wouldn't end up doing it. So I have more discipline, and I tell myself, I'm going to do it now. Why am I not going to do it now? What am I doing now that I can't do it now? So yeah, so I tell myself that all the time.
So just again, how important do you believe prayer was in this?
Very important, because it really did help. It helped a lot.
Yeah. And what are you doing today with yourself?
Today I had recently, actually no, this was on Friday and on Monday. This was yesterday, right? Yes. I had interviews for a university, the highest university actually, for my course.
Right.
And people were surprised because not many people even get interviews for that place because it's so strict.
Right.
And I got an interview, and now I'm just waiting for the result.
So they've seen your grade, they've seen what you're achieving, right?
Yes.
And your aim is to get into university.
Yes.
And what do you want to become? What do you want to graduate in?
At the moment, I'm doing fashion
and
textiles, yes.
Fashion industry is quite a busy, you need to be on the ball,
Yes.
right? On the game.
You have to make sure you have your head
but
down.
you found the secret,
Yes.
all right? Good. Thank you very much for sharing your story with us.
Thank you very much.
Now, if you are struggling with your time, and as Jessica said, you know, what was the most important thing for her was the prayer. It kick-started the change in her. Now, her marks have improved. Now, she's applied for one of the top universities or one of the hardest universities to get into, and she's still only 18. 18?
Yes.
18 years old. She has found the answer at such an early age that she can move forward now. And of course, as life gets busy, as it does for everyone, as we get older and we have more responsibilities, if she applies this principle to her life, she'll be successful. She'll be able to manage her time. And maybe you are a grown, mature person and you still can't manage your time. Then you've heard what needs to be done. It's a prayer. But then you back it up with action, even though there are distractions around you. When we come back from the break, Pastor Edward will be joining me once again. We'll be talking more about this before we say a prayer. Same type of prayer that Jessica did. If you want to join us, get your glass of water ready, okay? We'll see you after this.
Are you a duck? What can it do? It swims. It walks. It flies. But does it do them all well? Yes, a duck can do all of the above, but it's not known for being great at any. So, are you a duck? Rather than attempting to do all things, why not be the best at one thing at a time? You will find you'll actually learn to be great at more things.
Has the US been steering killer drones searching for us? Missiles won't reach Syria for several months.
This is your UCKG timetable. We are open 7 days a week, helping you to make a new beginning. Monday, a meeting focused on achieving more in your financial life. Tuesday, prayers for healing. Wednesday, a meeting teaching you to develop in your spiritual life. Thursday, a special prayer for the family. Friday, a service for your spiritual deliverance. Saturday, Find the One, a service specifically tailored for your love life. Sunday, Reconnect with God, the main meeting for your spiritual strength.
Welcome back to Finding Answers. Now, God has spoken about managing our time. You know, it's in the Bible, it's biblical, right? He wants us to be organized, to manage our time. And He knows everything. He knows that we live, even back then. He knows how we go through life today because He knows everything. And the words that I will talk about afterwards, after this video, you'll know more. There's a time for everything. But before we do, just have a look at this quick motivational video to show you more. There you have it. And I've got here a Bible verse. There's a book in the Bible called Ecclesiastes. And chapter 3 says there's a time for everything. There's a time to be born and a time to die. A time to plant and a time to pluck what is planted. A time to heal, a time to break down. A time to build up, weep, laugh, mourn, dance, embrace, time to gain, lose, keep, throw away, tear, love, hate. There's a time for absolutely everything. But maybe your time is taken up with one thing. Work, 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 work. Or money, 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 money. Or the problem with your child, your children, your children, your children, your children, your children. And you neglect your spouse. There's a time for everything, Pastor Edward, right? Yes. If we don't have that balanced time, we are going to feel lost and probably turn, as Jessica did, even depressed.
And you know, Pastor Michael, like the important thing is also to understand that we have to take control of the time because we have a given 24-hour day. No one gets less than that. No one will get more. So the choices that we make throughout the day, as you're saying, it's very important to balance it, to make sure that we are concentrating our now, which is the only fraction of time that we can control. To decide what we can't change the past, the future depends on what we do right now. So in that same scripture there it says there's a time to sow and a time to reap. And we sow now to reap tomorrow. What people do right now is going to determine how their tomorrow will become. It's very important not to let time control you, but to take the reins of it and you control your time, focus on what's important, and there will definitely be good results from doing that.
You know, I learned recently, something that 5 points, I don't know if I can remember all of them now, but 5 points that successful people do before 8 a.m. One of them is to exercise. One of them is to meditate, right? Another one is to plan your day out. In other words, think what you're going to do, write it down, everything you're going to do for that day. But one of the things as well is to do the most difficultest, can I say that word, difficultest? The most difficult task first. And there are people that don't do the most difficult task first. They either leave it till last or they do the easier task and then they say, you know what, I'll do that tomorrow. Procrastinate, right? So if we don't do these things before 8 a.m., your day will be like, whatever comes, I will do it. And normally what comes are the distractions.
Yes, that's right.
Which takes our time away from us. The most important thing, though, I think out of all of them is the spiritual part, the meditation. When we meditate, when we turn to God and we pray and we give our plans to Him, you can be sure, not only will you have the strength to overcome those distractions, but some distractions will be avoided because you've put it in prayer first. So that's what we're going to do now. Join us for the prayer. Get your glass of water ready because we're going to help you now to see positive results in your life.
Prepare now for the moment of prayer. If you would like us to make a prayer and include you in the Finding Answers prayer book, send your name and prayer request to help@findinganswers.tv.
My God, as we just read, that there is a time for everything, a time to do everything, even in the time you've given us, which is 24 hours. There's a time to rest, a time to sleep, there's a time to work, a time to stay with our family, to spend that moment with them. There's a time for everything, my God. And if this person finds their life has been unbalanced because they have not managed to organize their time, to be strict on themselves. So like Jessica, when she started praying to you, she started finding strength in her to say no to the distractions. If there's anyone out there who is distracted, who is wasting time doing things that when they look back, they see it's not profiting their lives. It's not profiting them, my God, at all. So help this person. Help them to find that strength to say no. Maybe this person likes to say yes to everything, to please other people. But give them that strength now to say no, my Lord, and focus on what needs to be done for them, my Lord, to also achieve what they want to achieve. But as well, my God, to also know you. And through this prayer, I pray that you will answer, will show that you do exist in this person's life. And something like time, my God, is important for us. So help them, my Father, to organize themselves. I bless this water now, and as they will drink it, and they will start to act out what they know they need to do, help them, my God, in Jesus Christ's name. Drink this water now, and receive that strength to organize your time. Okay then, our time here is done. We've run out of time, but hopefully we have helped you in tonight's program. And as I said, if you want to give us a call or send in an email, you can, even at any point, and we'll be able to answer you. All right? Have a wonderful night, and we'll see you at the same time on Monday. Bye-bye for now.